Two in a row, say it ain't so. Hey, check the eyes. They're normal. Look, I fixed the eyes. I was talking to my wife and she's like, first of all, good morning, everybody. It's January 29th, 2023, so I appreciate you joining me. This would be morning my time, but on the East Coast, you're already in the afternoon. And I was talking to my wife. She's watching it back. She's all, dude. She actually says I should take that last stream down. So if you don't know, in the last stream, I was testing the NVIDIA broadcast software. And in that software, it makes sure that if I'm, like, let's say I have something over here and I glance my eyes that way, it keeps my eyes focused on the audience. And it worked better without a hat, but with a hat on, I don't know, it must get confused and have a hard time finding my eyes. It looked really freaky. So she thinks I should take that live stream down completely. I'll probably leave it up, but yeah, the eyes were super weird, man. It just looked like a different person. Like it looked like I don't know, is it Roger Rabbit in Roger Rabbit with the big eyes? I can't remember. It's going back in time. But thanks everybody for joining and hanging out with me again, 2 days in a row, so that's pretty cool. I doubt we'll do a third. Could we do a hat trick? I'm not really sure. Leave the video. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe that stuff will get better here somewhere. So Jason says, leave the video. Hey, Jason, how's it going, buddy? Derek says, yeah, the eyes were weird. Yeah, they were really weird. My family's here. What'd my family say? Ralph is on, and now he's interrupting my project. What are you working on? Let me know what you're working on. Get your roll out. Get your roll out. A twofer. Jonathan, how are you? All right, we got your average gamer. What does he have to say? If you had a chance to do an interview with anyone in gaming, who would it be? Ooh, I know exactly who that would be. I'm going to lower the music. So, you know, I don't think this person, if I reached out to this person, I think they would actually be more than be more than like available. But I think Eugene Jarvis. I would like to talk to Eugene Jarvis because he was at Midway at Williams and Midway at such a time where they were blazing trails. Like if you ever watch the documentary Insert Coin, it's such a great documentary if you enjoy arcade gaming because it really goes into like what Bally, Midway, Williams were doing around that time. So it's really exciting. And also Eugene worked with so many other really talented people that I just think he'd be an awesome person to interview. Or maybe even like Nolan Bushnell would probably be a cool person to interview as well. Or maybe his son, who's now running Polycade, which we're going to be doing some videos on Polycade, actually. Polycade's pretty cool. A lot of people mistaken Polycade for being this really expensive boutique type thing, and you can do a DIY version of Polycade. So we're going to talk a lot about that. I'm actually going to do a video on Polycade, hopefully in the next couple weeks. But yeah, that would probably be my pick. And then, you know, obviously, we'll go back to that real quick. Then obviously, you know, there's like, it'd be really cool to interview Ed Boon. There's so many other people that would be interesting to interview, but I think I'd go with Eugene Jarvis, which is probably seems like a very standard response. But is it really coffee talk if it's after 11? I already drank my coffee, so technically no, Rudy, you're right. It's not, but all right, wait, just for men versus touch of. So AJ, I gotta say, I've experimented since the Todd experiment, and it's weird, dude. I would have never. I'm totally open to say it. I would have thought it would be the lamest thing ever to like bleach your. Oh man, I just look back a couple years when I started YouTube. When I first started YouTube 4 years ago, I had no gray. I don't mind. I know it's kind of cheesy to do it and everyone makes fun of it, but I'm cool with it. I'm going to own it. But it's a good question. I've played with both. The touch of gray one, I feel like it doesn't do enough. But it's trying to like keep the gray in, but I don't know. I haven't had good success with that one. So I'd say just the regular just for men, but you're going to get like a very profound, and don't leave it in longer than 5 minutes because it will start to pigment your skin and then you'll look like Hollywood Hogan. So you got to be careful with that. Okay, so this was a good comment by Curtis. He said Eugene has probably more a profound effect on video games than Nolan Bushnell. Maybe. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I'd have to really like dig in a little bit, but I think they both did. But all right. Let's see here. The Streets of Rage board is working now, right? Okay, check it out. So I'll do a quick update on that since that's what you brought up. And you know, keep the questions flowing. Keep in mind, it's really hard for me to if the chat is really active, it's hard for me to go back and get everyone, but I'll try to get as many as I can. because we're going to keep the stream. There's a lot of good football. If you're not a football fan and you're not aware, today is the NFC Championship game. So it's a really crucial day in football because the outcome of these games will be who's going to the Super Bowl. So it's pretty exciting. So it's a pretty exciting day if you're into football. If not, then it's just any other Sunday. But hey, let's play this thing. I do have an update on the Streets of Rage board. I'll tell you what happened, but I'll play the video real quick. But this is one of the things about the arcade hobby. It can humble you super fast. Stuff can happen, stupid things, or even just like a dumb thing that you didn't think to try, and it'll fix something. But here we go.
So let's coin it up real quick.
It's really hard to see. Hold on. There we go.
And you can look, it's not artifacting anymore, so I don't know. You know, it's one of those weird China boards, but it looks like it's actually fine. So I'm gonna do a follow-up video on this. The only thing is it is missing audio samples, so I'll show you that in a second. So watch when I kick. When I punch, it's fine. See the kick is missing the audio sample. Yeah, anyways, I don't know why, but I'm playing with one hand. So there's some audio samples missing, but it does work. So what do you know? I'll do a follow-up video to explain kind of what I did.
Okay, so okay, you guys, it sucks. You're gonna get me in trouble for this. So they did send me. I want to say no. I bought Final Vendetta, so it's okay. Well, okay, now I'm implying that if you don't buy it, then you have to be complimentary. But it was just bad. I didn't like Final Vendetta, and here's why. Final Vendetta was boring, number one, and number two, they added this ultra complex system of how you play the game as far as like the moveset. The moveset was super complex. If you're going to release a beat 'em up, make it simple like a regular beat 'em up. You can add and tweak a little bit, right? Make it a little complex. That's fine. But all of us that were used to playing those games, if your target audience is us, then giving it a complex moveset kind of ruins it for you, in my opinion. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. It was super boring to me. So I don't know. Yeah, Brad, I thought I was onto something too with the voltage, but it ended up being... Here's the thing. This is why I didn't check this, and I feel dumb for it, but I didn't think, okay, well, maybe the JAMA edge is dirty because it's brand new. Like, there is no dirt or residue on it. But how I ended up fixing it is I basically just took some cotton swabs and I cleaned off the JAMA harness edge, plugged it in, and it was fine. And I've actually turned it on and off a bunch of times. So I'm like, that's crazy. But it was weird how it was reacting to different voltages. It did seem like maybe that was a thing, but I've actually ran it now at multiple voltages and it actually is pretty resilient to different voltage. So it actually is fine. Anyway, so I'm going to do a follow-up video on that because I know a lot of people don't watch the Coffee Talk stuff. Like, it's a very small subset of people that watch Coffee Talk, so they may not see it. So I'm going to do a little update as to what I did and how it's working, because there's actually a little hidden Easter egg. They used a very interesting Streets of Rage 2 ROM. It's a modified ROM. Obviously it's modified to accept coins, but it's not just, not only is it the Japanese bare knuckle 2, but there's also, it's a ROM hack. It's not even the original one. So I'll show you. There's actually something cool that the board does, but I don't want to give it away right now. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, it was bad. It was actually really bad. I can't say it's good. I didn't like it. And it was funny because you guys were like snooze fest on the stream. When I streamed Final Vendetta, you guys were totally snoozing. And the funny thing is that before I get to this question, is I had I'll put the chat overlay up too. I had actually, you know what, I think I want to play with this view. No, it's kind of too close up. Let's see. I guess that's okay. Yeah. So I was playing with sorry, I was getting off track. So the Final Vendetta, after I did that, I didn't realize I bought like the super schmeggy edition of it. It came in like a gold box. It wasn't a gold box, but it came with all of this stuff. So the one I showed wasn't even the best edition you can get. And I was like, oh man, because I thought it was going to be awesome. And it just wasn't good in my opinion. I know there are people that liked it. And if you like it, you like it. I just thought it wasn't very good. All right. This is from Francisco. He says, greetings, Ralph. I have a question. Name an entertainment franchise that you would have loved to have seen an arcade iteration of. For me, I wondered Oh, Knight Rider. Dude, that would be really cool. Something that they didn't make a video game that was a entertainment franchise. I don't know. That's going to take a second for me to think about. Oh, they did RoboCop. They did Terminator. I'm trying to think of things that were really... They could have done a Universal... Oh, no, did they do... I think they did a Universal Soldier NES game, right? But Universal Soldier could have been kind of a cool... That could have been a cool spin on a arcade game. I'm trying to think of other movies around that time frame that were cool franchises. Well, Universal Soldier, they did make one or two of them. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, Francisco. That's a wicked good question, but it's one that's like off the top of my head, I don't have like a real good answer. I mean, there's definitely several. I mean, they made a Ghostbusters arcade game, but it sucked. So the Ghostbusters arcade game was really a reskin of another game. So they had a game already in development, and then I think they switched it to Ghostbusters. So that's why it kind of feels, the arcade game doesn't feel like a Ghostbusters game. I used to play the Ghostbusters on like Nintendo 64. See, Mandy says that Nick does Just for Men now and likes it. I know, it's kind of weird because my wife actually likes it better. My wife likes it better when I don't do it. So go figure. I really thought you were onto something with the voltage. Yeah, I know. I thought I was too, but it wasn't that. But it's actually very resilient to voltage fluctuations because I was changing the voltage quite a bit after I cleaned the JAMA edge, and it's totally fine. I did reboot it a bunch of times. Did I say schmeggy? I used that word a lot in high school. I used to be like, let's schmeg it. I don't know, but I think schmeg ma is something very different. But I used to say like schmeg. Like schmeg meant go fast to me in high school. Like if I was in my buddy's car, I'd be like, let's schmeg it. And that meant like hit the gas. I know I had so many weird words in high school. Oh, dude. Well, Transformers, they made the newer games, but that would have been a cool one back in the day. I think they could have done something cool with Transformers for sure. Dude, A-Team. Good point. Dude, A-Team would have been sick too. They made a G.I. Joe game, but I don't love that G.I. Joe game for some reason. I don't love it. Oh, Kong's R Us has a good one. Bloodsport could have been cool. Maybe as a fighting game or something. That could see that. There's actually a lot that could have made. Oh, dude, Thundercats. Yes. Thundercats would have been great. Gosh, Thundercats would have been great. I'm trying, if anybody has any other ones that they're thinking of, definitely put them in here. What's up, Goofy Foot? How you doing, buddy? All right, let's see. All right. Hi, Ralph. Do you still collect New Wave Toys Replicades? I have them. The problem with me is that I think those things can be really cool, but if you don't have like display cases, because to me, I'm not going to play them. I just think they look cool, right? Like I'll be fully transparent on the fact that I don't play those. I'll play them when oh, that didn't feel good. I'll play them when I open them up, and that's usually it. I won't go back and play them because even though they are very playable devices, like surprisingly, they do a really good job. New Wave Toys and Numbskull. I think if I had a display case that I could put them in, I'd be more inclined to collect them. Because for me right now, I collect them and then they get like kind of thrown into different places. Like I have a couple in this little rack thing I have right there. But I'm thinking about redoing this room actually. Not redoing it, but the Candy Crane is cool. I've never done a video on the Candy Crane. The Candy Crane, my kids loved it, but then they found the key. I had to hide the key because they'd constantly go in and just take the candy out. And right now, the candy that's in there is disgustingly gross. So one thing that's really interesting about a Candy Crane is at least the older ones, the new ones probably use LEDs, but they have fluorescent tubes that light that thing up inside. And because the fluorescent tubes give off heat, it's really nasty. So it kind of like dehydrates the candy. So what you'll end up with, and it happens in short time, like if that Candy Crane's not getting cycled through, the candy gets really hard and disgusting. So the funny thing is my kids, it only lasted a little while and then they were like, oh, this candy's so gross. Yeah. And they just wouldn't eat it. So anyways, all right, let's see. All right, Brad, I was just watching the movie Nope and the characters had some replicades on they did? I didn't notice that. I saw that. Wait, Nope. Wait, no, I'm getting Nope confused with, hold on, what's Nope? I think Nope is Nope movie. I think I'm confusing Nope with another movie. What's the movie where the guy, he's the guy from Better Call Saul and he's a complete badass. That movie was so good. So I don't know why, but isn't it a one-word movie title too? But dude, I love Better Call Saul. Anyway, but that movie that he was in was kick-ass, and I can't remember the name of it, but man, that movie was good. I don't think I saw Nope, but that's interesting that it. Wait, my wife was unimpressed. I pointed and yelled when I saw it. My wife was unimpressed. Oh, Nobody. Yeah, see, I knew it was kind of close. Nobody was an awesome movie. If you guys want to see a good modern day, like kick-ass action movie, Nobody's really good. I was stoked when I saw that. I felt like for the first time in a long time, I felt like Nobody made me feel like those 80s larger than life character action movies, except now it wasn't a big buff Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was kind of someone unassuming, which made it even more badass. I really liked that movie. Really liked that movie. I'm going to have to go see, I'll have to go see Nope because I haven't seen that yet. All right, we got Biggie D's Arcade. Is there anything arcade related going on around town during the Super Bowl? So the Super Bowl is obviously here in Arizona. Not that I know of. I bet I would be willing to bet that like some of the other maybe Electric Bat is doing like a tournament or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know of anything there is an arcade in Westgate, but it's really like more of a modern arcade, and they specialize in it's not really about the arcade. They have like these fun like kind of crazy drinks with dry ice in them and like candy and gummy worms and like they're like crazy drinks. Have you ever seen it? Like they'll make a champagne glass and they'll put like it's like all foo-foo-y kind of stuff, but it's kind of like over the top. It'll be a champagne glass with a sugar rim or like Pop Rocks on the rim and like a thing of rock candy in it and a piece of bacon or something crazy. So that place does have arcade games, and the name of the place is escaping me. They may do something. Actually, the funny thing is Bob Rose, who's the one I'm going to be in the documentary for Token Taverns. He's going to be here in town, and I think he has extra tickets to the Super Bowl experience, or I think it's called the Super Bowl experience. And he was asking if me and my wife want to go. So Kim and I will probably go and hang out with Bob and his wife, which would be really fun. And I've been like begging Bob to let me show you guys the trailer for Token Taverns, but he just released the press release for the movie. I know he's trying to go through some other avenues and he wants to clean up the trailer a little bit, but I can't wait for that to come out. Like I really hope it sees the light of day because it's a really cool documentary, and I think it will get everyone pumped up again around barcades. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like obviously COVID's still a thing, but I'm like way over that. Like I'm going out, I'm doing my thing. I'm enjoying these locations again. And I'd be willing to bet in your area, there's barcades that might have opened post COVID. There might have been barcades that were open way before that are kind of suffering. So it's really, if you enjoy this hobby, all I can say is try to support those places. Some of them are doing pretty well, but there's also closures going on. So some really had a hard time sustaining through things, and some are really thriving. So it's up to us if we're the fans of that kind of thing. You know, if you like craft beer and you like arcade games, go support these places. But there are a lot of them that are doing really, really well right now. And that's encouraging, right? Because people are going in to play the games. They're going in to drink the good beer they have. So try to support those places if you can, especially if you know there's ones in your areas that might be struggling or having a hard time through it. All right, Pure super sticker. Oh, I can't see the super sticker, bud. Thanks for the super sticker and the $5. I can't see it, unfortunately. I think I can go back and see it, but I can't see it in this application. So, but I appreciate that. All right, Nobody was a sleeper hit. Man, it was so good. It does. Falling Down, man, I haven't watched Falling Down in a long time, but I have a feeling Falling Down would not be able to be released today. Don't you think? Don't you think Falling Down would be viewed as like super controversial today? I mean, maybe it was in that time too. Bono's Tecmo, I did get it working, man. I got it working. I got the board working. Stupid. So the one thing I'll say about anything or any aspect of this hobby, like whether you're fooling around with emulation and you're trying to teach yourself MAME or Big Box or Launch Box or Hyperspin or any of these things, sometimes you just need to walk away for a second, and it's the most obvious things that's the answer. Now, because this board was brand new, I didn't think to clean it. I'm like, why would I clean a board that's brand new? Who knows? Maybe there was something conductive that got stuck on the JAMA edge that I just couldn't see to the naked eye. But I cleaned off the JAMA edge with some rubbing alcohol, and it worked. So I cleaned it off. I even cleaned the connector with some deoxit, and it works just fine. So, but there is some problems. It has audio issues. So I did hook it up also to my to my Super Gun, and I was thinking maybe the board is a stereo board, and if I put it in mono, it would fix that. But it seems like there's sound samples actually missing from that ROM set that they included. Now, it's interesting because the ROM set for Streets of Rage or Bare Knuckle 2 is one file. And it looks like what they did is they put 4 EEPROMs and they split the ROM files. So I'm curious if I can maybe copy those ROM chips down and kind of see what they did. Maybe even burn my own ROMs and use that board. Because what I think that board is I think that board's a clone Genesis system. And I think it might be just emulating Sega code. And I could put any Mega Drive or Genesis game on it, I think. So, because there's actually, I don't know if you guys noticed this, I should have probably done the video a little bit more detailed, but I just didn't have the time, unfortunately, and I wanted to get something out to you guys. I thought it was a fun video, but there's a cartridge. There's actually some spots on the PCB to add a cartridge slot, so it's pretty interesting. I think it's really just a clone console. So I did get it working, but good question, Bonos Techno, and I thanks for being here. All right, what kind of hardware that Street Fighter? I don't know. That's the thing. It seems like it might be just like a China clone console. You know how you can go on AliExpress and type in like Sega Genesis clone console and they have a million of them? I think that's all it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it doesn't look, I was thinking that too, but it doesn't look like it. I'm not like an expert on like all the components of like a Sega Genesis. So maybe it'd be a good idea for me to like take a Sega Genesis, because I have an actual bare Sega Genesis Model 1, I think, that is not even in a case. I'm a freak when it comes to Sega Genesis, by the way, guys. I have 2 complete in-box launch Altered Beast Sega Genesis. They're not new in-box, but they're complete in-box. I think I said new. They're complete. I freaking love the Genesis. Yeah, I actually I had that a couple times, Brad. There was a couple people that were like, "Wait, is this a Wicked Gamer video?" I love that guy. So him and I are really good friends. Unfortunately, we used to talk a lot. I had this job in the past where I had a ton of flexibility. Like I could kind of get my job done in like 6 hours or so. So I'd always kind of have some extra time in the day. And it was throughout the day. I'd kind of like fit in. Like we would talk sometimes for a long period of time. He's just a wicked good dude. I love that guy. I'm trying to see if potentially sometime this year I can get him over here in the States, or I go there and visit him. Because I mean, who wouldn't want to go visit the Netherlands? That would be super fun. But I think he would really rather come here. I would kind of rather go there. Because I don't know, I think it'd just be really exciting. Believe it or not, I've traveled to a lot of places in the United States, and the only places I've gone that would be like considered foreign countries would be like Canada, the Bahamas, which whatever, and Bermuda. Those are the only other places I've been, or in Mexico. So I've never been anywhere else. So it'd be really cool to go out there and see him and stuff like that. All right, let's see what we got here. Have you played the sequel to Area 51 Site 4? Any idea why it's not found easily via emulation? Brad would know this. Brad D. I thought Site 4, I think I have Site 4 on some, something I built somewhere along the way. I'm pretty sure you can emulate that. Yeah, because there's a CHD file for it. I'm pretty sure you can. Do I like it? It's not bad. I mean, Site 4 is not bad. I still like the original better, personally, but those games, those of that time period, they're fun. I don't know that like it's that memorable that I'd want to go back to it all that much. I feel like the original is more memorable to me, at least, than Site 4 was, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, we've tried before in the past. We have a couple videos where Wicked and I have gone and talked together, so it's been pretty fun. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a couple of these voicemails. I have not reviewed these, so I have no idea what they are. I'm always freaked out to play these when I haven't like kind of looked at them first, but let's give it a shot and see what happens. I don't know. I'm afraid in a way. I'm gonna move the chat overlay out of the way for a second, and we'll play the first voicemail. Let's see. Actually, I gotta do this real quick so you guys can hear it. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Let's see. I'm always worried when I open these.
Yes, sir. I'm looking for Mr. Ralph. I got your phone call.
Does anybody actually leave real voicemails? Okay.
Asking about the garage heater, and we do garage heating. It's a propane heat. If that's what you're looking for. And and we can come over there. Hold on, Bobby, you busy? Yeah, we can come over there today. Just let me know,
The hell?
and we'll get on the truck and come on over. Love you.
Love you. What the hell? All right. Well, clearly, oh wow. All right. Well, I guess those guys are coming in to install the heater in my garage later on this afternoon. So I can't wait for that. I'm really excited. So they got nothing going on. It sounds like a little propane heat in the garage should work out great. Okay. All right. Let's see the next one. I'm sure I can guarantee you there's not one legitimate voicemail in the 4 that I have here.
Hi. Yes, I just wanted to call and say thank you for the adult arcade. I received it. It is beautiful. It's so great. It has the riser, but I'm having trouble with the riser. I just can't get it to rise. So I'm not sure if you can help me or if I should just call a doctor. But something's not right here. It's not right. But let me know where I should go, and I'll bring all my shoes and my glasses with me. So I have them.
Okay, so that person bought an adult arcade off me, apparently, and they're having a trouble making the riser rise, which that to me sounds like a completely personal problem. And it does fall out of the contract that we signed as far as the adult arcade's concerned. I can only provide you with the adult arcade. How you perform afterward is completely your responsibility. And what I would advise is that you do see a doctor for that problem, and your riser will be back in no time. Okay, so we're moving on. You know, I'm sure one of these has got to be legitimate. One of them has got to be.
Yeah, what's up there? This is Frank calling you back from Frank's Carpet. I see you left a phone message for me. You want some carpet in your garage?
Well, I do want carpet. I do potentially want to put carpet in the garage. So let's keep listening. This might actually be helpful.
You want arcade carpet?
Yeah.
Some kind of glow-in-the-dark fruity shit?
Oh, wow. Wait, hold on. What did he say? Did he say glow-in-the-dark fruity shit? Hold on.
I can say it. You want some carpet in your garage? You want arcade carpet? Some kind of glow-in-the-dark fruity shit? You think we got that?
I hope so.
Yeah, we got that. How much you looking to get? Square footage wise. You want I can say it 10 square feet.
Jesus.
I can say it 10 million square feet.
Okay.
Because I'm Frank, and I got all the carpet.
Okay.
All right? We can lay that carpet. We can glue that carpet. But before you do anything, before I come over there, you got to assure me that garage is not too hot to work on them arcades.
Jerk. What a jerk. All right. Well, Frank, apparently he must run a carpet business, and he's asking me if I want to buy carpet from him. You know, it's really his job to come out and inspect to see how much square footage I need. I actually don't know. I don't know the square footage of the garage. So maybe I'll have Frank come out and take a look. But apparently he sells all the carpet. I don't like that he insulted my carpet preference, though, because, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily consider arcade carpet fruity shit, but that's what he referred to it as. So, I mean, he clearly, you know, doesn't have good taste in arcade carpet, but he might be someone I should go to because he says he can lay it down, glue it down. Do you even glue down carpet? I'm pretty sure you don't glue carpet, but hey, whatever. All right, there's one more. Do you guys think I should play the one more or no? I mean, none of these, clearly no one actually leaves legitimate voicemails, at least not today. So I can play the last one if you want. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to take a drink of this. Let me know if you want to play the last one, and we'll see what's going on. I think I'm doing that weird drink thing like I did during that filming. By the way, I didn't tell you guys, while I'm waiting for you to respond on if you want to watch that or listen to the next one, I didn't tell you, Mason's coming here. So I'm taking 2 days off work because here's my thing. We're going to film a ton of videos within 2 days because I want to have videos that I can release over the next 3 months as I get adjusted to this new job. Because I don't know how much I'm going to be traveling. And I think the new job, obviously I want to make sure that that's my main focus. Obviously, it's my job. It's like my livelihood. I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job there. And of course it's new, so I want to make sure I'm putting my best foot forward. But I'm excited that he's coming out because we're going to just do like a filming marathon. And it's going to be cool because, you know, a lot of times it's not a lot of times, almost all the time, except for chasing, it's me. So I'm setting up the camera. I'm moving the camera. I'm setting up my microphones. I'm testing everything. You know, all of it is all me. So it'll be interesting to have him there because the process should move a lot faster. How's my health? Jason, it's not the best right now. I got to admit, I was probably like 3 or 4 months ago, I was doing real good on that. And then I kind of let it slip again. So that's going to be something I really need to focus on too, because I'm going to be really busy with work. But, you know, when you get busy with work, sometimes you let other things slip, and hopefully health won't be one of those. But I definitely have to get back to that, man. It's tough. It's like tough as I don't know. It's tough as I guess we're all middle-aged men now. I mean, it gets tougher to, I don't know. You just don't really, I guess, like, I was always one that really struggled with weight. Like, I kind of like put it on real easy. Definitely easier than I think most people, well, I don't know. I just guess like genetics wise, like I put on weight real easy. And I know there are some people that just don't, like their metabolisms are different. And a lot of people do actually put on weight easily. And then especially when you get older, I don't know if it's true that your metabolism slows down. You always hear people say, that's what my parents would say. Well, Ralphie, your metabolism's slowing down. What do you expect? You're not going to look like you did in your 20s, in your 40s, Ralphie. What are you going to do? You're going to stop eating pasta and meatballs just because of vanity? Is that what you want to do? Anyways, to me, it's not vanity. It's more health. But yeah, I'm going to play the next voicemail. Okay. What will the new videos be about? I have a couple of subjects. I'll tell you that in a second. So I'll keep the comment up while I play his voicemail so that I don't forget about that comment. So here we go. But I have some listed. I have some of the topics listed in my notes on my phone. So here we go. Last voicemail. I'm sure it's got to be legitimate. It's just got to be.
Who's this? Hello? Is this the Ralph? Well, I was calling you because my son Timmy bought a game off an auction. It's a Road Beater, Road Blasters, or something.
Road Beater. I don't know that one. I didn't sell anybody any Road Beater.
And you sit down in it. And it's got some trouble now. For one thing, he said the seat hurts when it's riding in it.
Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna answer while he's not live with me. The seat would hurt because in the Road Blasters, that's the name it's called, Road Blasters, it is a wooden seat. There's no cushion in it. So of course, after long periods of gameplay, it probably would hurt. So you can tell Timmy to suck it up or put a cushion down.
Something about it's got some kind of stereo in it, some speaker.
Oh, God.
Something is giving him trouble, making it vibrate, and it's too vibrating for him to play the game.
Okay, well, if I was talking to Timmy directly, the Road Blasters has a subwoofer in it. I think it's an 8-inch or maybe even a 10-inch. It's a pretty big subwoofer, so it does vibrate. Now, you can turn that down. There's an amplifier in the back with a little potentiometer. You can turn that down. So you can tell Timmy it can be adjusted.
And he said some of the decals on the side are peeling away.
That's not true. No way. Those decals, those are good decals. There's no way they're peeling away, but okay.
Like they didn't glue them on there good. Now, this thing was supposed to be totally restored game here. And he paid a good amount of money for it.
Yeah.
He got a really good deal on it. We thought it was going to go for way more than what it did. But still, a deal is a deal. And we called the captain, and then the captain gave me your phone number.
We did? No, the captain did not give you my phone number. So he's trying to say that he got my Road Blasters off of auction. And he called the captain for customer support, and he gave him my phone number. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do that, but all right.
We need to know.
Wait, what? What happened to him?
We need to know.
I don't know what happened to him. It's like it got cut off, I guess. All right, well, we don't know what happened to him, but Wow. Okay. I don't know what happened, but let me. I'll tell you really quick some of the topics of the videos that I have that are going to come out. So I don't know when they're going to come out. We're just going to produce all these. Well, I don't know. Some of them. All right, fine. I'll tell you here. There's going to be a super hang-on unboxing. So I got a super hang-on for $150. I think it was. Sorry, I think it was $100. But maybe it was $150. I don't remember. So I'm going to unbox. I got it. I haven't even opened it up. I don't know the status of it. I don't know if it's working or whatever. So there's going to be the super hang-on pickup, the Outrun pickup. I haven't done a video on that. Outrun's got some pretty unique. It's an Outrun stand-up. It's got some pretty unique features that I think people forget about because a lot of times they were broken in the arcade version of the game. So I'm going to do a video on how to burn arcade ROMs. I'm going to do a video on modern arcades. So like what kind of games would you expect if you go to a modern arcade, and should you go to modern arcades? I'm going to do a how to discharge your CRT safely, and I'll obviously poke fun at the 2 years ago oven mitt thing. My favorite arcade game in my collection, why I love pinball, bootleg board from China round 2, which you guys got a sneak peek of basically, my Stranger Things Pro pinball machine mods, and the Polycade. Is it worth it? That's just one list. There's a whole bunch more. So that's just some that you can expect to see. That was a good question, actually. All right, let's see. I hit 43 now. I'm starting to have health issues, weight, heart rate, age is catching up, man. I know that's what's the thing is, I think it's more important, like as much as exercise isn't necessarily fun, I think that's it. Even if it's just going out and going for a walk. I was doing that for a while. It was making a huge difference. I think the two things that we can utilize to combat the problems of age is what we eat and just doing a little, even, I'm not saying go to the gym and pump iron, but do some cardio or something, even if it's just go and walk around your neighborhood or whatever. All right, let's see. So there's a super chat from Stringer. He says, I'm late. What did I miss? I don't know. There was a bunch of people that called in. They all seemed really legitimate with real issues. So they were really hard-hitting voicemails, and we got to all of them. Thank you for the super chat. You'll have to go back and listen to that. Just tell him to check the voltage. I know. The captain gave me your number too. I don't know if he did that. Did he really do that? I don't know. Rainwater Games says he's got my contact info from the captain. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. Thanks for the schmeg. No, not schmegma. No, that's not how I use it. It's schmeg. Like if you were in a car with someone, right, in high school, just think back. Think you're like 16. I'd look over at my buddy, right? I'd be like, all right, you know what? Well, actually, I'd be looking at this. We're in America, so I'd be looking this way. He'd be on the driver's seat on the left. I'd be like, all right, you know what to do, Kevin. Schmeg it! Here! That's what I would do. And then he would know. He'd be like, yes! And he'd power brake it, and we'd be like, stuff that all 16-year-olds should do. That's when he had his Mustang. His Mustang was really schmeggy, but he had this Ford F-150, and when you'd power brake that thing, it'd be like, you'd feel the back be like, it'd get stuck for a minute, it'd be all, and then he had these big school bus tires on it, and there was so much smoke everywhere. We did the dumbest things. Like, I'm so shocked that we never got in trouble for almost anything. We got away with mostly everything. Today, no way. This is super random, but we had a buddy. I don't know why we did this. If he couldn't go and eat with us at Pizza Hut, I think it was Pizza Hut, they used to sell like pizza strips. It was like pizzas. I don't know what they were. They were just strips. I don't know why we do this. It's so messed up. If he couldn't go with us because he was like in trouble or something, we'd save like half the box of pizza strips, and then we'd drive by his house, rip out in the road. I lived in a backwoods town. It wasn't backwoods. It was a very woodsy area, so you could get away with some stuff. We'd rip out in his front, and then right when he knew we were there, we'd throw all the pizza sticks out the window into his driveway and then burn out. Really, really mature thing to do. Really mature. All right. Brian, what's up, dude? I got to join that weekly Zoom. I feel like it's always bad timing, but I'm just going to make it a point to do that. I'd like to join. I had a good time the one time that I did join. That was really fun. So I got to do that again. Healthy eating is a lifestyle balance in everything. Eat to live rather than live to eat. Yeah, man. I know. That's the thing is I know this is, I know it's not that exciting to talk about Oh, the dipping strips. That's what it was. Yeah. I know it's not that exciting to talk about health stuff, but for me, I'm really bad with the moderation part. Like I can, if it's something I like, I'll eat like the whole package or the whole box. And that's my problem is I can't, especially if it's sugar, I have a wicked, super sweet tooth. And when I get going on that stuff, I can't stop, dude. Like I can't, there's nothing that you can't stop me. I'll just, I understand what it'd be like. Put it this way. They say that sugar has a very drug-like response in your brain when they look at like CT scans of some like consuming high amounts of sugar. I feel that. Like I feel like I almost have an addiction to sugar because if I don't have it, I'm fine. Like if I don't have it, I'm good. But if I start to have it, like if I cave and have it, I will eat all of it. So like you couldn't give me like if you handed me 3 boxes of Mike and Ike's, I love Mike and Ike's, by the way. If you gave me 3 boxes of Mike and Ike's and I started in the first box, the only thing that would stop me is if I was embarrassed by maybe just looking like a total sloth in front of someone else. But more likely than not, I'd eat all 3 boxes. They'd be all done. Like, no doubt. Anything like that. Any kind of gummy, sugary candy, like what Biggie D is saying, Sour Patch Kids, done. My son, I got him this big, funny thing is he hasn't eaten 1 box yet. I got him the big giant Christmas box. It's not a big, it looks like it'd be a big box of Sour Patch Kids, but it's not. It's actually a bunch of the mini boxes inside it. Not mini, but like the regular size boxes. I've eaten almost every single box. There's like 1 box left. Yeah, I have a really bad problem with sweets. It's more like gummy. It's more like gummy candies kind of thing. Like some kind of soft gummy sour or something like that. Twizzlers, anything that's Twizzlers, Red Vines, I'm actually not opposed to either one. It's really interesting because I never really knew what a Red Vine was until I moved to the West Coast. Because on the East Coast, it was always all about Twizzlers. And it was funny because the first office job I had on the West Coast, they had those big things of Red Vines. And I was like, what the hell's a Red Vine? Like, I had no clue. Like, obviously, I could see it was licorice, but I was like, Red Vines? Like, to me, I was like, what are these bootleg Twizzlers? And they're like, what? Like, they like completely freaked out. They're like, you like Twizzlers? You're a loser. And they were like, or you must be from the East Coast. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know this was like a feud. But it was. It's like an East Coast versus West Coast thing. I think it might be somewhere in the middle of the country, though. I think Chicago is probably Red Vines, too. I'm not sure. But it was weird. I was like, man, these people are like, I didn't realize this was like a big deal. So, yeah, I can eat a bunch of donuts, too, definitely. Lemonhead. See, I like those, but that wouldn't be my first preference. I do like them, though. I'm kind of like an equal opportunity. No, Rainwater, that's the wrong thing to do. Plus, who knows if that address is correct? It probably is. But I mean, if you want to send them, buddy, I mean, I would kindly accept them. I mean, that's one thing. Hey, I might not e-beg for anything, but I'll e-beg for candy. If you're gonna send me candy, send me candy. Sorry, I will kindly accept your generosity if it comes to candy. All right, peanut butter cups. So historically, I'm not super into chocolate. Like I will eat chocolate. I don't not like chocolate, but I would pick the gummy candies over chocolate. But if I was gonna have chocolate, peanut butter cups is where it's at for sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on the peanut butter cups. Okay, let's see another donut comment. Donuts are good for you. For you, look at Homer Simpson. He hasn't aged. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's looking great. See. Brian is a West Coast guy, and he thinks Twizzlers taste like plastic. And I thought the opposite. Now I have an appreciation for both. But I didn't realize there are certain candies that may be more like regional. Like now, obviously, they're all over the place. But there are certain candies that people like based on region. See, like right here, Red Vines are. So, Ando, where are you from? Because I want to know, historically at least, I'm acting like I'm some kind of candy historian now. Historically, the Twizzlers are concentrated to the East Coast. Now, when we take a look at the Red Vines gained in popularity as we go west of the middle of the country. So you take the middle of the country and you can literally split it down the middle and say the East Coast region. I don't know what accent I have now, but it's all of a sudden I'm from Australia. All right, I don't even know what that accent is. It's terrible. Sometimes my accents, they go into these different weird things. So see, like everyone, it's weird. Chicago, we like both. See now, all right. Hey, Ralph, you just start the stream. No, I started it 46 minutes ago. You're late, JJ. But now that you're here, red vines are Twizzlers. Let me know. All right, are you being serious? So, Kurt, are you being serious? Because I never heard of red vines until I moved to the West Coast. I had no clue what they are. Like, no clue. Didn't even know. Oh, so see now Rainwater Games is from Washington, and it's Red Vine, Team Red Vines. I know, I didn't know this was such a like actual debate out there, but it is. Are there any other candies that you think that would fall into this category of see, Cole said Reese's Pieces. See, I don't like Reese's Pieces. So like Reese's peanut butter cups are bomb to me. If I eat Reese's Pieces, there's something just not satisfying to me. Now, come on, Dreamcast Kyle, I don't believe you. Have you really not heard of Red Vines? I mean, he is live in Canada, but you live in like basically America. I mean, you're like just over the border, I think, right? Really? But that would make sense. You're on the eastern side of Canada, right? So that would kind of make sense. You're dead to me. I don't like Reese's Pieces, Cole. I don't know why. I've never got into them. I used to eat them as a kid, but I'd always wish. It was like the Reese's Pieces was like a ghetto peanut butter cup. It was like, I really want a peanut butter cup, but I don't have it, so I'll eat this. Like, it was like, I mean, put it this way. Like I said, I'm equal opportunity when it comes to sweets. I'd probably eat the Reese's Pieces, but I would be unsatisfied. So all the Reese's Pieces would do is it would spark that like weird reaction in my brain to just want other stuff. So I'd eat all the Reese's Pieces that were in front of me, and then I'd be like, what else do we have? We have to have more candy. So it's so weird, man. It's so weird because people on the East Coast love Twizzlers. Oh, Fruit by the Foot was bomb. They still have that, I think. Do you know what? When my kids were little, I'm sure if you guys had little kids, when you have little kids, you start going into like you'll make them mac and cheese or something, and then you'll make a whole box. You're like, well, my kid can't eat the whole box. So you just like eat, you like graze a lot. When your kids are little, you graze all their stuff. At least I did. I ate everything. So anything they'd eat. So it was weird. I actually was in pretty good shape until the kids. And then like, I just ate everything they had. Like if it was Easter or whatever, I'd be like, oh yeah, 1 for you and 5 for me and 1 for you and 10 for me and 1 for you and 25 for me. I stole the kids' candy. And Halloween, forget about it. I would steal all their stuff. They'd be like, Mom, how come I only have... Shut up. Shh, shh. Tell her. Tell her. You know what to do. You want a good Christmas this year? Shut up. Don't tell Mom anything. Anyway, there's one time actually where... This is really funny. So I'm going to have to wrap up soon, by the way. So there's one time where... I used to be really into mountain biking, especially when I lived in California. There's awesome mountain bike trails. When I moved to Arizona, I didn't mountain bike as much because of the heat in the summertime. Like you have to mountain bike really early in the morning. And honestly, the terrain in Arizona is, at least where I am, where it's like rocky and dry. I didn't like it where it was kind of more wet and packed down in California. But anyway, so I was like bummed because when the kids were little, I felt like I could never go and mountain bike. And I was, maybe I was being a little selfish, but I was like, man, I want a mountain bike. So I bought one of those like kid trailers. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to mountain bike. It's going to be awesome. So, but I wasn't really thinking like, if you're in the back and you're on dirt trails, like what's going to happen to you? So I remember I was like riding and everything's cool. And they were probably like, they seemed like they were having a good time. I had both my son and my daughter in the back and we stopped. And my daughter was like, I can't see. This is terrible. And she was like moving and all this dirt was coming out of her. I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? And she's like, I'm telling Mom, never. And my son's like, you're telling Mom. I'm like, oh no. Like, I'm like, all right, I need a solution to this. So the thing is, where we lived, the trails were kind of in the community, and there was a little like, remember when like frozen yogurt places were really popular? I don't know, they still have them around, but like it was like frozen yogurt. I'm like, all right, the only solution I get, the only thing, like it immediately popped in my head. I was like, they love that frozen yogurt place. My only chance that maybe I can get them to not rat me out is to get them anything they want at the frozen yogurt place, like whatever, like put gummy worms, like kids, they'll put like more crap on it than they have frozen yogurt, and they just use it as a means to eat candy. I got them the most mega schmeggy. I was like, give them whatever. And the lady's like, are you sure? I'm like, yep. I don't even care if the thing weighs like 25 pounds when you put it on the scale. Just get them whatever. And for like almost a week, they didn't rat me out. And then my daughter at like dinner one night was like, Mom. I'm like, oh no. Shit, what's she going to say? I don't like when Dad takes us on the mountain bike. Shit! She ratted me out. She ratted me out. Even though it lasted a week. She held out a week. I'm like, how much longer? I figured if I got past a certain time, and then there's no such thing as like statute of limitations when it comes to like kids and moms. Like moms turn into mama bear. So I was like, there's no way. I was like, I'm going to be able to pull this off. I know it. Like a week, I was like, I'm in the clear. I wasn't even thinking about it after that. Guys forget about stuff like 10 seconds after it happens, right? So I was like, we're good. We've gone a week. There's no way it's going to get brought up. So anyways, that ruined the whole trailer thing. And then I couldn't bring him mountain biking anymore. And then I kind of stopped mountain biking for a while. Hey, man, this is the real stuff. You can't tell me that one of you guys haven't done this stuff before. I mean, they weren't hurt. If they were hurt, it would have been different. They weren't hurt. It's just like, I just remember all the dirt. She was like, Dad, I don't like the trailer. And she's like, it was like she was crying. So it was like a dirt tear. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was so terrible. Yeah. I thought for sure there had to be like a rat out dad statute of limitations, but there wasn't. I got in trouble for that one. Anyway, so yeah. If you guys have little kids, I mean, I know Cole, I don't, obviously I don't know if everyone has little kids, but I do know Cole and he has little kids. I'm sure my family has some funny stories about when his daughter was little, because his daughter's not little anymore, which is so crazy. It's so crazy that I'll take my family, for instance. Like my family's watched the channel since it basically started. So he's like, I've known him for 4 years now. And his daughter's the cutest thing ever. But now she's like grown up a little bit. It's really crazy to see. But 4 years have gone by. So of course she'd grow up. But she's still super cute. But it's just like I'm sure he's got crazy stories, because I think he's a single dad. And a lot of this stuff. Oh, well, then I was a single dad for a period of time. And there's even more crazy story. I'll tell you guys one more crazy story. And this was not my fault, okay? Like this literally this was a mistake. I felt terrible about it. So there was a time where I lived in an apartment for a little while, and I was newly divorced, and the kids had to stay in one room. Like I was kind of struggling. Like we had to kind of fit in this small apartment, and like I just was struggling to like I wanted the kids to have their own room, but I just couldn't at the time. So that's irrelevant to the story actually, but I guess it is kind of relevant, because so I needed like new things for the kitchen. So I needed like pots and pans and stuff. And I can cook to an extent, but I'm not like this amazing chef or anything. So I go to, it was probably Walmart or something. And I was like, all right, what can I get pots and pans that are like super cheap? So I bought the cheapest pot and pan set you could possibly get. Just like whatever it was. I was like, oh shit, 25 pans for like whatever, however, I don't know how much it was. It was cheap though. So her friend, she's like, can I have a sleepover? I was like, yeah, sure. You can have a sleepover. My daughter, she wanted a sleepover. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So her friend sleeps over and she's like, Dad, make us, no, it wasn't the night of, it was the morning she was going back. So like her mom was going to pick her up around the afternoon time. And her mom said, hey, are you guys having lunch, or do I have to feed her when I pick her up? I was like, no, I'll make lunch for them. And then when you pick her up, she'll have already ate lunch. And the kids wanted mac and cheese. So I'd made mac and cheese, and I just served the mac and cheese like normal. And I saw something weird. Like, my daughter was eating the mac and cheese like normal, which just makes it even more terrible of a story, to be honest. And then her friend was like picking something out of it. And like, even like, she's like, and she's picking like something out of her mouth. I'm like, what the hell is she picking out of her mouth? So like, I kind of thought it was weird, but I didn't think anything of it. And then like, they went home and I get a text from the mom and she's like, hey, and I can't remember her name. She's like, is there something wrong with the mac and cheese that you cooked for, I think her name was Ashley. She goes, there's something wrong with the mac and cheese that you cooked for Ashley. And I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, I think everything was fine with the mac and cheese. She's like, well, she said there was like metal in it. And I'm all, metal? She's like, yeah, she said that she was picking out metal shavings. And I'm all, oh. I'm like, so of course I really wasn't aware of any metal shavings, but while I'm on the phone with her, I'm going over to the pan that's still in the, it's still in like the sink. and it had like, I was using like a metal spoon in the shitty pot, and it was making metal shavings in the freaking thing. So she ate freaking metal shavings, dude. I'm like, well, I mean, she didn't eat them, but here's the thing, my daughter wasn't picking them out. So I'm like, great. So my daughter ate the metal shavings and didn't say a thing, but my daughter has like, oh really? It's just embarrassing. So anyway, so it took me a while to get like that, earn her trust back. I was like, oh my gosh, I told her the story. I was like, look, I bought these cheap pans. I'm so sorry. Like, it will never, ever happen again. It took her a little while to warm back up to me because I mean, obviously, you're like, cool, I went over to this guy's house and just feeding my daughter metal shavings in a pan. But anyways, I ended up getting, and when I had the money, I invested in a good set of pans. But until then, I was doing like the mac and cheese cups. So yeah, it was really quite embarrassing, to be honest. And yeah, she was like, why would you? I was like, I didn't intentionally do that. And then, of course, when she came over, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But she was like, I don't know. Anyway, it worked out fine in the end. And I never told my daughter until this past Christmas. At Christmas time, we were sitting at dinner and I was like, hey, do you know the story about Ashley? She's like, what story? And I told her the story and she was like dying laughing. So anyways, did she set off metal detectors? Wait, what'd you say, Jonathan? I never want to be a dad. The moral of the story is just don't buy shitty pans, and then don't use a metal. I think even on most pans, you wouldn't want to use a metal spoon because it actually will say that a lot of times. So if you're making mac and cheese, like use a wooden spoon. If your pans are crappy and you use a wooden spoon, you should be okay. But yeah, man, that was rough. That took a little while to get over because I always prided myself on like being a good dad. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm good. You know, and I, you know, but you have moments, man. That actually happened, and I just knew not to buy crappy pans or use metal spoons after that. So it's kind of what it is. Anyways, everyone is fine. She's in college. Her friend's in college. I didn't ruin any of their mental, like their cognitive abilities are okay. So the metal didn't hurt them long term. So I guess it's all good. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, we got, if you're a football fan today, in an hour, the football games start for the NFC championships. If you're not, then it's just any other Sunday, and I'm sure you'll find something to do, play a game, whatever. I wanted to talk about 007, but you know what? I haven't really had a chance to play it, but everyone's complaining about it. Like the controls are bad and blah, blah, blah. Oh man, I don't know. I'll have to go. I'm sure you guys would have a lot to say about it because I'm sure a lot of you guys have played it already. I'd like to give it a shot on the Xbox, actually, since it doesn't sound like out of the box the controls work very well on the Switch. But oh, and the other thing I wanted to talk about is go watch the Carl Jobst video on oh cool, Moat's playing it. Moat, I thought you're into football. Why would you be doing that during football? I thought you were into football. Anyways, I guess like maybe you're multitasking. I don't know. Anyway. Oh man. Anyway, so go do what you're going to do today. Have a good day. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You know, I thought it was kind of cool to do 2 of these in a row. And this week's going to be Monday and Tuesday. Mason will be here. We'll be filming some videos, hopefully, to kind of fill in the gaps while I'm trying to figure out this new job. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. And we will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Have a good Sunday.